Alright, so I'm going to show you first how to prep the natural nail for dip application. So I have Steph here, and she's very kindly lending me a few hours today to show you guys what to do. But one thing I do want to address straight off the bat is that her nails are different lengths, and what I would be doing in real life is these nails are beautiful, they're her ideal length. I would be doing a tip and overlay on these two nails if dip was what was best suited for Steph. We decided we definitely want to dip. I would probably do tip and overlay on these two nails to bring them out to the same length as the others, because we don't want to shorten these ones to match, but of course we want a full set that matches. Now, because Steph is kindly letting me film multiple things on her today, we're not going to make the lengths match. So I'll talk about it, but just understand that that's what we're doing. The other thing as well is that I normally work over a towel, but if you have seen any of our other Tech Booster videos, you'll know that the towel messes with the camera a little bit, and so I have taken the towel away, but I just wanted to let you know that it's not normal. I would not recommend working over just your desk. If you don't have extraction in your desk, then you definitely need a cotton towel and a disposable towel over the top. Just forgive me for the purpose of this filming. So our first step when prepping Steph's nails for dipping is going to be to sanitize. And so I'm going to take spray sanitizer and spritz it 20 centimeters approximately from her hands all over, and any jewelry I'm just going to give it a twist just to make sure that I have sanitized around and underneath the jewelry as well. So her other hand as well, 20 centimeters away, just a quick spritz to cover the entire hand. And I'm going to do mine as well, just off camera. If you're using a spray sanitizer, don't worry about rubbing it in or anything like that. They're designed to evaporate really quickly, leaving behind only the active ingredients and doing their job really, really quickly. So you don't have to rub it in or anything like that. In the Tech Booster product knowledge module, I talk about why I choose spray sanitizer and my thoughts on the other options. So you can check that out if you have access to Tech Booster product knowledge. So I've sanitized both myself and Steph, and my next step is going to be to shape the natural nail. You can use a 240 grit file, which is really nice and fine if you want to be able to go back and forward. If you don't mind being a little more careful, you should be as careful as possible anyway, you can go up to a 180. If you're going to do it with a 180, you need to be really careful with your client's nails. So Steph's nails are pretty spot on, so I'm just going to tidy up the shape of these ones, and like we talked about before, I'm not going to make the others match because I would normally be extending them either with dip or with acrylic or something if I wanted these to be longer. And to be honest, that's what we're sending Steph home with later, is she's going to get tip and overlay extensions on these particular nails. So I'm just doing a quick tidy up just for showman's sake of these nails so that you can see the step. But hopefully if you're watching this video, you should be able to shape a nail by now. If not, you might want to go to a different module first. So we're just doing a quick shape. Steph's going to get her nails shaped like 20 times today, so we're not going to put them through too much. And also she came in with such a nice shape on the long nails anyway, there's not really that much to do. So we do our shape. Okay, so once we have shaped the nails then, so we've sanitized and shaped, we're going to do our cuticle work. So I'm going to take a stainless steel cuticle pusher. It's my favorite one that I've had since I graduated, and I'm going to start at a 45-degree angle and just gently feel for what we kind of call the edge of the sticker. You know, when you go to like the warehouse, and it's fairly easy to get the price tag off something as long as you can get the edge up. Well, that's what we're doing, is we're feeling for the edge of the sticker or the edge of the true cuticle so that we can ease it back off the nail. And Steph's is, like, we start back here just in case, but Steph's is pretty close to her eponychium. So I'm not putting much pressure, or any pressure really, on the actual eponychium, but what I am doing is pushing up against the true cuticle sticker edge to remove that non-living tissue. And then with the other end of the cuticle pusher, I'm removing any other debris, being careful not to sort of like, I don't want to dig in under the eponychium and hurt Steph or cause any damage to her eponychium. So it's just really gentle, just making sure there's no cuticle debris. So I'm going to do the cuticle work on all 10 nails, and then we'll move on to the next step. So I've done all of the cuticle work. I'm just going to use a plastic manicure brush to take off some of the remaining dust and debris from Steph's nails. And then our next step, so we've sanitized, we have done our shaping, and for our beginners, I know we would normally sanitize and cleanse and then shape. I can honestly tell you the only reason I didn't cleanse is because I forgot. Because Steph and I were just in a rush to start. So we sanitized, and then you have the option of cleansing, which I didn't do. But if you do it, it protects your files and buffers from oil and debris on the nail. So I normally do that straight away after sanitizing. I'm going to do it now though because I did forget. But it didn't really impact what we've done so far, but it will impact the buffing that I'm about to do. So I'm going to catch myself and cleanse the nail plate now. I mean, like, this step isn't for adhesion, so you do have the luxury of it being optional, but I do like to get that surface oil and bacteria off the nail before I put my buffers down, just because I'm going to be, like we've sanitized and I'm going to disinfect my buffers. It's not passing on germs that I'm worried about. But if you have oil and bacteria embedded in your files and buffers, then they're not going to last as long. So this first cleansing step is just protecting my own tools. So we'd normally sanitize and then cleanse, and then we'd shape, which you've seen, and do our cuticle work, which you've seen, and then we're going to buff the natural nail. Now I'm going to use a 100-180 grit buffer. So it is 100 on this side, 180 on this. Now the official instructions for almost every dipping system that I've come across is to use the 100 side, whereas most of us who have done gel polish, acrylic and hard gel for a while, the 180 side is what we would normally put onto the natural nail. And when you've been buffing with 180 for a long time, 100 feels like sandpaper. Like, it's quite intimidating to be told to use the 100 side. So what I've been doing and practicing and experimenting with is the 180 side. Now, if you've got a brand new buffer, you can definitely get away with using the 180 side a few times. But with dip, this is not the time to be pushing your non-disposable buffers and seeing how far they can go. As soon as you get a little bit of wear and tear, you're going to experience lifting. So try and use a fairly new 180 grit buffer, or carefully use a 100 grit buffer. So I'm going to show you the difference. So I've got my 180 for this nail, and this buffer is brand new. So we take all the shine off, and it's not a huge amount of pressure at all. It's not a lot. It's not about roughing up the surface. It's not about removing layers. It's about removing shine. So I've done that. On this one, I'm going to use the 100 side, and again, this is brand new. I know I can feel the difference. I know Steph can definitely feel the difference. I know I have to be really careful around the freshly pushed back cuticle. I'm going to zoom in and see if you can see the difference yourself. So this one, definitely the shine is removed. This one you can actually see a few little scratches. So it's not a huge difference, and I was very careful with the 100 side. I didn't put a lot of pressure down, but just those are your two options. And if you are using a 180 grit buffer, or if you have a little bit of wear and tear on a non-disposable buffer, you might find that you get a little bit of lifting. So you want to use the option that is best for keeping your surface from breaking down. You don't want any lifting. If you're really careful with the 100 side, like I did, because I didn't put a lot of pressure down, I've not thinned out the nail. I didn't go over and over the same spot several times. So if you're using the 100 side, like it says in the instructions, it's very gentle pressure, pass over each part of the nail just the once, and then move on to the next nail. If you do have a brand new buffer, in my personal experience, you can get away with a 180 grit buffed surface and still have good adhesion. Do you have any questions?
No, but you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Heaps, eh? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And I think as well, because there's quite a stigma around using e-files on the natural nail, like some nail bars do, that any time a client sees the surface roughed up, that's what they relate it to.
Yeah.
Whereas we're not trying to do that, we're just trying to remove the shine. But client perception is
also important.
Yeah, also important.
You want them to go away with a happy experience.
Yeah.
Like a normal one.
Alright, so we've done our buffing, and I'm just going to very quickly take away some of the dust. This time I'm going to cleanse again, but I'm going to be cleansing for adhesion. So last time when I talked to you about cleansing, it was just to help protect my files and buffers. This time when I'm cleansing, it's going to be, it's going to be for adhesion. So I'm prepping the natural nail so that it is ready for me to apply product to. So there are a few products you can use. I'm using Artistic Nail Surface Cleanser, but again, whenever there are options, like for example, you can use an isopropyl alcohol mix, or most companies will have cleanser blends of their own. I discuss these in the Tech Booster product knowledge module, so I highly recommend that as a good place to start if you're quite new and you're not settled on what brand or what products you want to use. Just remember that it is important to use the brand, like the whole system together. So because I'm about to dip with Artistic products, I'm cleaning with Artistic Cleanser, because that's the only way you know 100% that you're not going to impact service quality, get lifting and things like that. I also just brushed over the nails with my manicure brush again, because I don't believe in lint-free nail wipes, so I needed to get the lint from my lint-free nail wipes off of her nails before dipping. Okay, so before you go into the actual dipping system, you should have some sort of prep product to use. So with Artistic, it is in a red bottle. I have the gelish one here as well, which is in a green bottle. They both have identical ingredients, and from my experimenting across the board, they all tend to have fairly identical ingredients. For this one I talked about in the products video, you have pure ethyl acetate, and basically it's a very, very thin consistency. You're just going to paint a small amount on each nail. It should evaporate pretty much immediately. If it doesn't, it's really important that you let it dry. So it should disappear immediately. But if it doesn't, don't apply product on top of wet prep. It will have an adverse effect on your end result. And you can probably hear or tell that I'm dipping into the bottle every 3-ish nails, so not constantly. You don't need a huge amount of product, and then this just goes away, and that is your nails prepped. So these nails are now ready to go straight into dipping. So I'm going to stop this video here, and we're going to go in and show you how to do a plain a single color overlay on a natural nail in the next video.